I've always felt like the best workspaces are the ones that actually make you want to work, the kind that spark ideas and make room for creativity and just make you feel like a place you want to walk into every day. So with this new studio space, I wanted to build exactly that, something inspiring and exciting, but also more functional and intentional than what I had before. I do have a full makeover and final reveal from my previous office space, which I had a ton of fun putting together, but this new space I'm in had a few more unique challenges. There was a lot more trim work already done in here. There was no central air, no closet like my last office, angled ceilings, so just a lot more things to consider as I was planning this space. Like you'd expect, I planned the entire space using my iPad, all in freeform actually. Lots of sketches, inspiration photos, jotting out notes to myself, and lots of runs to the hardware store. But I finally got this space to a place that feels right. One of the boldest choices I made was choosing a lavender paint color. It's actually very similar, if not the same paint color I had in my childhood bedroom, so it feels like a real full circle moment here. But the rest of my house is quite neutral in terms of paint. I like to bring out boldness with furniture and elements that are easy to switch out, but with this space, I wanted it to feel invigorating, whimsical almost, and I really did want it to feel a lot like KDigitalStudio, which is very pastel purples and pinks and blues, and I think this space achieves just that. And it's color drenched, so ceiling, walls, trim, everything is lavender, so it feels much larger and brighter in here, and I think it's quite fun. Because I am filming in this space, I wanted it to look great from nearly every angle, so I don't have to do so much staging and dressing up the space. I just want the space to be ready to go whenever I'm ready to work. And a big part of where I work is the desk. So let's start with the desk setup. In my last setup, I had my desk floating in the center of the room, which I think looks amazing in person. I think it looked a lot more natural, but it is so difficult to film and great get shots of, in my opinion. And in this space, it honestly just made more sense to have my desk against the wall anyway. This space wasn't really conducive to having it floating in the center. So it unlocked a lot in terms of kind of decor and functionality and just a new way of planning out the space. So I have my YouTube award here on the wall in the perfect spot to motivate me. This shelf is from Umbra. I love the design and how well it pairs with my desk from Urban Office. It won't work for my space, but you can actually buy multiple of this shelf from Umbra and create really cool patterns with them across the wall if you feel like you need more shelf space and want something pretty unique. On the other side of my desk, I have these felt pin boards. These are awesome in that you can orient them however you'd like and create really cool patterns with them as well. They come in this light off color, kind of beigey color, and also a coral color. Part of me wishes I got the coral. I think that would have been a lot of fun, but I think it looks great nonetheless. And I plan on pinning more art and reminders and just cool stuff to it. For right now, I just have my pins from WWDC, but can't wait to add more. I do have this piece from Olivia Herrick already up, and I think it looks perfect for the space. Such a great reminder, but I do want to take my time either making or deciding on more art for my office, and also frames. I don't understand why it's so difficult to decide on a frame from the space, but that is something still in the works here. This is something I'll see immediately every day as I'm working, so I do want to get that part right and not rush that process. But if you're an artist and you have cool art that you think would look great in my space, I'd love to see it, so let me know down in the comments. All right, so then my actual desk itself. Again, this is from Urban Office, and it's my favorite thing ever. It's white oak with a natural live edge. I wanted something soft and organic, and I feel like this desk fulfills that vibe. The monitor shelf that holds up my studio display is from GroveMade. I think it matches perfectly as well. And I have these little organizers here from Amazon that work great for this setup too. Also, GroveMade is my laptop stand here, so if I ever want to hook up my MacBook to my studio display, I can clamshell it here. My main setup is run off of the Mac Studio. I believe it's actually the M1, not the highest specs, but still absurdly powerful since Apple moved to their own chip, and it's been great having it as part of my setup. and it's nice having kind of a sit down, more stationary setup lately. I also have a white HomePod mini for smart home automations and voice assistant. I'm still building out the automations for my office, so if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Underneath my desk is the matching filing cabinet, also again from Ergon Office. I store my most grabbed for items here in the drawer, and of course, important files and papers in the filing section. I also have a mini fridge for a quick snack and lots of cable management solutions underneath. This surge protector is actually kit compatible, so I can see and control each outlet individually through voice, automation, or using the Home app on my phone, which is pretty awesome. Additionally, in terms of smart tech I've integrated into this space, I do have a few Philips Hue bulbs kind of floating around here in my floor lamp and in my rope light. And I've also added in Caseta by Lutron light switches. So these are, thread and matter compatible. So I'm able to use the lights just by using a regular switch, or I can use my voice, my phone. It's just really nice having those added in here as well. I also switched out the chandelier here in my office. Before, it was this really big old fan because my office is in a sunroom. Well, it's in a sunroom off of a sunroom. It's kind of like a sunroom annex. And I switched out for a chandelier, but it also has a built-in fan, and I can control that via a remote, change the speeds, turn on and off the lights using those Lutron light switches. So that has been a really fun addition to the office as well, kind of building out a few smart tech options. Because a lot of my work is on iPad, I do like having a cozy space for me to curl up as well. In my last space, I had a buccal barrel chair that was relatively small and just a touch uncomfy. So I knew once I saw these windows that are behind me that I wanted a large, oversized, comfy chair that I can lounge about while I work on my iPad. And I think the Lotus recliner chair from FlexiSpot is perfect for this. FlexiSpot is so kindly working with me in this part of the video so I can share more about this awesome chair that I'm sitting in. The seat width and armrests are incredibly spacious, so I can sit in all sorts of ways. Plus it swivels, it rocks, it reclines, which if I ever manage to have enough time to take a nap in here, I'll have the perfect spot to do it. There's a spot for me to plug in my iPad or my phone too, with the USB charging port, since I have the electric version of this chair, so I don't have to fuss with making sure I'm near an outlet with a long enough cord. What I particularly love about this chair is that it has a spot for concealed storage, so it's incredibly practical here in my office, which is something I've been intentional about when choosing pieces to bring into this space. I got it in this very nice cream color, which I feel like pairs so well with the rest of my office, the checkerboard tiles, the rug I picked out. It's definitely a chair I can do a lot of activities in, so I'm really happy with this change in my space. This chair comes with a variety of additional features. Check it out by clicking the link below, and don't miss out. Use my exclusive code LOTUS30 to get 30 off plus free shipping. If you can see yourself curling up in this chair in your space too. And thank you to FlexiSpot for thinking of me and my space. Something I've dealt with a lot in my last office was just tons of rearranging and preparing the space to film it, which honestly caused a lot of friction for me and made me not want to film because I knew I had to do so many things to get it film ready. Part of that was having to clear off and rearrange my desk. So for this space, I knew I wanted something already set up and ready to go. I had this perfect space off to the side right by the windows that lead out into our bigger sunroom. So I don't have direct light, but it's still very well lit to have an additional desk for filming. It's much smaller, it looks pretty similar to my main desk setup, and I can actually fold it up and store it away if I need that space back at a moment's notice. This is also a space I plan to continue to build out with additional shelving and possibly mounting up my lights so I don't have to move around my lights as much or move around my cameras. So I can't wait to continue to make this space even more intentional and functional than it already is. Speaking of function and intention, our new home is much larger than our last, but a lot of that space is sunrooms and more entertaining and gathering type rooms, not a true room that would work as well as a guest room. And I knew my office made a lot of sense in terms of having a guest space where it is kind of located in our home. But I didn't want the space to look like a bedroom when someone wasn't staying here. I needed to have it function as my office and as a filming space. And when someone is staying with us, I'm usually not working as I normally would, so I knew a Murphy bed would work really well in here. I do have limited wall space, so I went with a Murphy bed that actually looks like cabinets that can roll out and fold out the bed. I like how this also has additional storage for things like pillows and blankets and other cozy things, so I don't have to come up with additional places to store this stuff. Beside the Murphy bed are art shelves that I actually built and planned out using leftover materials and shelves that actually broke during our move. I needed storage in here and I wanted to bring more of that softness through having arches. It's not perfect by any means, but I am so very proud of what I created, especially with it being here in my office. These drawers hold up your typical office supplies, and then my cord organizers. And then within the cabinets are my Wi-Fi extender, my NAS storage, charging station, camera gear, printer, supplies, all of the things. Because these art shelves were created kind of using leftover materials and really just making do with what I had and trying to upcycle and pretty much save and reuse. In the future, it would be nice, you know, several years down the line to have it actually professionally built out with a true carpentry skills and not just the ones that I've acquired through the project. So that is something that I'm thinking about down the line later in the future, but for now I love how it turned out and I think it looks great in the space. Plus it's fun having those shelves so I can display and decorate with the iPads, have additional storage boxes here, and other little shelf sitters that actually have quite a bit of meaning to me or were gifted to me and actually have kind of a great purpose. And that's a look at my new office and desk setup. It was a lot of planning, scratching out ideas, and coming up with new solutions to make a space that not only looks good, but functions well for what I need it to do day in and day out. I'm obviously very pleased with what I've created, but I would be lying if I said it was totally complete. Of course, I want to find cool frames and frame cool artwork above my desk and maybe even incorporate elsewhere within my office. But there's also a few not as noticeable on camera type things that I need to fix, like filling in gaps with caulk, grooves, and just nail holes. I have to touch up a lot of the paint on the ceiling, and I do want to add more lighting over by my shelves. But for now, I love this space. I love how great it looks and how well it works for me. And I just love how fun it is, especially compared to my last space, which was a bit more modern and kind of fit the vibe of that house more. Now, if there's something that caught your eye from my office that you think will work great for your spaces too, you'll find the links for everything in the description. If you love this video, check out my last office makeover. I share more of the process of actually renovating that space and the challenges I dealt with, and you might come across even more solutions that work for you and the energy you bring to those spaces, your own spaces too. Don't forget to check out FlexiSpot and this amazing chair I will be lounging out. And until then, I can't wait to get to work. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.